So really, how does NTID determine what system, materials, curriculum is best for NTI students to develop their English skills, and which model is NTID using?
That will meet those needs. The other part of that is developing an assessment system that helps us figure out where students will start in the curriculum process, which courses should they be themselves, and also developing outcomes, learning outcome measures, so we know how those students will achieve progress. It's a collaborative effort among the faculty. We also have students that on the NTID help with teaching.
Hello.
We had a group involving what we call the English Research Committee, which is a group of students and faculty together who talk about issues, make recommendations for change, and know that issues can give that direction to the system. So for this, for example, the peer system we now have in NLP that was developed after students recommended that we
Hello.
I think it's important to recognize that the system been there for a long time now. It's constantly changing all the time. Because we listen to new faculty, we listen to new students, and we're always trying to fix it so it becomes just a little bit better. For example, that's at the mid-90s. We had the test, the LAPT, the Liberal Arts Placement Test. That was a test that was used to allow students to go into the College of Liberal Arts writing course. That was a test that back then, students couldn't simply take. They had to wait until they arrived at a certain point. And sometimes it took a long time to reach that point. But more importantly, that was a test that you could fail. You could wait a long time to take the test, and then you could take it, and you could fail it. And that caused a lot of student upset in the family. We changed that system, and now we made it clear how you get to take the LAPT, and also you cannot fail the LAPT. If you take the LAPT, you pass it. It's not pass-fail, it's pass. It's based on, and the result is you are placed in one of three courses, 1, 2, or writing seminar. So that's an example of a change that's happened historically. And I'm expecting that we will have more changes as a result of this meeting and the next meeting that Randy is going to set up. So we're always changing, we're always listening and seeing the results. We study the results a lot of the English system because we want it to be the best it can be.
So this is question number 2. I want to ask, what are NTID's criteria in hiring English teachers?
teaching. You all know that right now RIT expects, well, let me clarify. We have two types of positions that we hire teachers for. The first is what's called a lecturer. That kind of a person does not have to have a terminal degree, can have a master's degree in the related discipline for teaching in our department. The second type of position that we have is tenure track. That's more permanent kind of a position. It requires a terminal degree like PhD, EDD. It also requires research and academic scholarship. The lecturers only teach. So, when we are looking for new English teachers for both kinds of positions, we're very interested in finding people who can sign. First, we hope to find that. We also hope to find people who actually have degrees in, depending on the exact position, but we tend to look for literature, PhDs, English education, communication, other reading specialists, English as a second language, sometimes deaf education. We also are looking for people with experience teaching deaf students. We like to find that. We also look for people from different backgrounds. We like to have our faculty reflect the student population that we teach. What else should I add? We also are looking high and low and everywhere for deaf candidates. So we're constantly looking for individuals to help us make a faculty that can work together to create very positive and productive learning experiences. That's kind of short answer. More? More? Was that enough for now?
Okay, great, thank you. We'll move on to the next question. How does NTID ensure that there is a consistency in each teaching method for English courses from level A to D?
That is a special challenge for us because we have a very important responsibility in teaching students. Typically, what happens is the faculty who teach a particular courses, for example, the level A faculty, get together and talk about, review the curriculum that has been approved by the RIT Curriculum Committee. It's on our official documents. We make sure that the courses that we develop actually fit the curriculum that we agreed to that New York State signed off on. That's one part of the challenge, to make sure that the courses developed actually reflect the curriculum. The other part of the challenge is to make sure that teachers are grading similarly, that teachers are evaluating students on the same kinds of skills and performance. The way we do that is try to meet quarterly, regularly, and just sit and review student work and evaluate it together. We kind of calibrate often. We don't just work, we're constantly working together. We're also trying to figure out ways to change our approaches to continue to improve student skill development. So it's an ongoing process that involves working with the students and with one another in the department.
Would you like to add something? Okay.
Just to expand a little bit on what Katie just said. It really is an ongoing process. We're very concerned about that because we know that different teachers approach the task of teaching English in slightly different ways. We don't control that. We like that. We like difference among teachers. but we want the grading system to be fair and consistent. And that's not easy to do. If we start not to pay attention to that, it gets screwed up. So we have to pay attention to that all the time. And the faculty argue with each other. They argue with each other. Some faculty believe they really don't want to give a student a C or a D or an F because I know that that student killed themselves working hard. It's not fair to me to give that student a D or an F even if they didn't really satisfy the goals of the course. What's clear about all the different courses is that they have clear goals. That's called a mastery curriculum. So really to get an A or a B or a C in a course, you need to satisfy the goals of the course. Now obviously you can argue about how much a student satisfied that particular goal. That is subjective sometimes. And that's what we talk about in department meetings with the faculty. We're always talking about that.
One minute.
Elaborating on what you mean by subjective.
English is not the same as math. Math, 2 + 2 = 4. English is not like that. I wish that English was like that, but it's not. So the word subjective means that I approach, like a writing paper, I approach that, I read that, and I think, first of all, do I fully understand it? Do I like it? Is it accurate? Is it well organized? Did it answer the question? All of those factors are in play when I have to decide to assign a grade. It's not an easy thing to assign a grade because the faculty really are very concerned about the students. They don't want to give a student a low grade, but they have to be considering the course goals all the time. It's a balance. You're thinking about the course goals, you're thinking about the student, how hard the student worked, you know that. You have to balance that. So subjective means I, as the teacher, approach the task of grading from my point of view.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I just want to clarify that we have 4 more questions to warm up the discussion, and then we'll be turning to the audience for their questions.
The next question is how often does NTID change the minimal testing requirements based on the current NTID?
The testing requirements we've been using for level A, B, C, D have been in place for 20 years. I mean, as long as Stephen has been here, he was the English department chairperson before me for 15 years. We've not changed that. We stayed with that system related to assigning scores for each level.